coming back, and hope it's been a good week since we last spoke. And hold on, got one more person coming in. Hello. Hello, Ashley. We were just getting started. Thank you and welcome back. Hope it was a good week, a good 4th of July, and all the fun activities that were part of that. I want to, again, thank you for your time and coming in. And as we discussed, this week is recovering a sense of possibility. So I'm first going to go into the chapter because it's a really meaty chapter for those that may have been, reading and following along. And then we can get into the actual activity for the night, which is going to be origami. So the idea that recovering a sense of possibility, this week we were all asked to examine the payoffs for us remaining stuck, to explore how we curtail our own possibilities by placing limits on the good that we can receive. So most of us really never consider how powerful our Creator really is. Instead, we draw these very limited amounts of power available to us as we work on unblocking our creative selves and connecting spiritually with our God. We decide how powerful that God is for us. And so in a lot of ways, we are our own limitations. Somehow in this process, we sometimes unconsciously set a limit onto how much we can get, that God can give to us, and or how much God can help us. In a way, we are thinking in the scarcity mentality, where we believe that there is a limit to what God can give us, and we don't want to use it all up. And we're afraid that we're going to, overuse our welcome per se. And so in that way, and we somehow believe that if we're getting too much or getting too many blessings or that type of stuff, that we have to then sometimes give it back. So what sometimes we do is we will set this limit on what God can give us. We can sometimes become very stingy with ourselves and how much we can receive from God. And some of in our imaginings, we will sometimes also give it back. And so that does happen. And we forget that God, as our source in the spiritual position we're having, is an unlimited bank account. The idea here is that the source is limitless. God is available to everyone that wants to have a brief relationship with God. And so we're depriving nobody from receiving God's good or the abundance in our lives by allowing ourselves to receive the good that we are getting from these different opportunities that come available to us. And so the author further explains that if we learn to think of receiving God's good as being an act of worship and cooperating with God's plan to manifest goodness in our lives, we can begin to let go of having to sabotage ourselves and about preventing ourselves from progressing, going forward in this process. And so the shift to spiritual dependency is a gradual one. We have been making the shift slowly and surely over the last 4 weeks. Every day we become more true to ourselves, more open and positive, less judgmental of ourselves, less judgmental of other people. We also, the author continues to explain that by seeking the Creator within and embracing our own gift of creativity, we learn to be spiritual in the world and trust that God is good and that so are we, and that so are all of his creation, or however you want to look at that. The chapter, of course, is labeled Recovering a Sense of Possibility. So the author is using some exercises in that book to explore what you may have been denying yourself by setting these limitations on ourselves, and also on the acceptance of God's love and abundance in our lives. Our true self, our desires may be hidden by our obligations and limitations, and as well as our time to discover all these possibilities. And so what we're trying to do by unblocking ourselves is connecting in that, reconnecting with that relationship and really allowing ourselves to be able to grow both in God's presence, but also on the spiritual path towards that, and being able to see what those possibilities might be, to discover them in our lives. So this week, we are going to have some fun, of course, using some origami, because it is a craft I have always wanted to try. So we're going to be trying these paper arts out together. That's something I've been curious by. But the idea of the sense of possibility of something different, of discovering what we can do, I thought would be fun to do with paper arts and origami. So I had used and sent out a a copy of the instructions for the different ones we're going to do today. I said to go ahead and get some papers. We're going to start with the cat head. Everyone had gotten that for them to reference either through the PowerPoint or on the website under the workshops, and then under the drop-down schedule for reference and instruction material under that on the website, or if you already received a copy of it and have it in front of you. But we're going to start with the cat. And so the one thing though, has anybody actually done origami?
A long time ago.
So what do you remember from origami?
I remember a trick you could do with scissors to make a cooler fold. If you just put pressure and go sideways, it makes a much more clean fold.
Oh, interesting, because one of the things they suggested was using like a paper folder, and I don't really have a paper folder. I just have this little tool that it could be used as a paper folder, but using the scissors is a good tool. A way to make sure that the fold is done and nicely creased. It helps to be able to create some of these the lines are very important. Most origami paper, the easier ones at least, are the square paper. And I picked up a couple of these little sets. So you're going to be able to see, and I suggest that maybe we try one first and then just experiment with it. This particular is just a regular square origami paper. And we should try to at least see a beginning of a basic shape. So what you really do is you're folding with this paper. So with this one, let's fold it in half first. And just get a paper that you can experiment with. And you're going to line up corner to corner and put that in half. And you're going to open that up, and then you're going to do the opposite half. And you're really going to kind of working from not only lining up the corners, but also creating a crease so that you can see that crease within the lines of the paper. You can see now you got the square, but you got that basically in half. And then if you were to then fold by diagonally, folding internally, you can see one fold there. And if you go all the way around, lining up the points to the corner and lining up the others, folding it around, all the way around your paper there. You can create an envelope. Or you can create what is called a basic floor cushion shape. So it's basically a floor cushion shape. Now, there's different ways in which the folds can be done, either inside or outside. And what they mean by inside is you're going to see part of the inside of the paper, the opposite side, or you're going to see the fold where the paper is going to be on the outside. So you can see the actual paper on the outside of the fold. And then the other piece is called a square fold. So same scenario here, but open it back up. And now you're going to do a diagonal, corner to corner. You can see that I did that diagonal now. And then you're going to also fold that again in the diagonal. But then on the one side, you're going to open it up and you're going to open up that paper so that you get to fold it on itself. So you can see that you created a square based off of that one side. And then you do it with the other side as well. And then you again create a square fold. So they fold it back on top of each other and you have another square. So there are different types of instructions that are out there for origami that I've been picking up on. Again, I haven't done all of these yet, so I've been curious to try this. So it'll be a learning experience for all of us here. But I wanted to at least try to get a general idea of like how this looks. And so some of them have basically the images and the instructions, and some of them have the basic square paper. And some of them require the 8.5 by 11 paper. So we'll go through that as well, depending on which one we're going to do. The first one requires the regular paper. So you'll be able to see that as well. Some of them will actually also have different styles of doing it. The more complicated, they sometimes will do like, they'll put a letter by each corner so you can match up corners. So you can see A to B, C to D. It may also help with kind of keeping things organized. The more easy ones are going to just show you the fold so you can see how it goes. So for those that have the cat, let's go ahead and at least give that a try. We'll start with the cat head and we'll see, we got the paper, and it looks like from the instructions that we're going to do the fold it in half twice. We have the creases on there, so we'll go ahead and fold that in half. And then we'll do it again. So you can see the crease, corner to corner. So once you open it up and you see the interior creases, it looks like we are working from the inside to the white part of it. And we're going to do set it aside this way in a diagonal. And then we're going to basically looks like a half. I forgot. One more thing. Looks like we're going to do a diagonal fold as well. So from this diagonal fold, that's where we're going to go next. You're going to, on one side, you're going to meet the corner on the diagonal. So it's exactly in half of that diagonal. And then on the other one, you're going to not quite do a whole, you're going to be like a quarter of that. Doesn't really give you like a measurement. But you're going to be able to crease it there as well. What you're going to do is you're going to fold it the opposite way. So then it'll go back the opposite way. So then you have this shape as a result. After this, we're going to then fold in the diagonal in half on that crease that we had. So you can see. And then from there, we're going to fold in itself the first half that way. And then we're going to fold the other half in itself to create a box this way. And then we're going to fold back up again. On both sides at an angle. You can see how the other side's folded back up at an angle. And then you're going to fold the top down to the center to get that crease. So you'll see on the inside it folded down on that center. So then when you turn it over, you will have the cat's head. From here, if you, some of the instructions also included double-sided tape. So if you don't have like certain glues and stuff, they said the best thing to use is double-sided tape. So if you want your different pieces to stay, down, you can use that to help you with keeping your items in place. I lost my my nails, and so now I have no nails to work on these double-sided tape. Exactly. And then if you want to use googly eyes, if you want to do your markers, you can create your cat image based off of that. So I'm going to grab a little marker here, a little pen, and create my little eyes. Oh, and it also folded a little bit in on the tip of the nose to make your nose. So you can do that as well. I missed that piece. I'm sorry. So however way you want to decorate your cat's eyes, you can do so. Put little whiskers on it. Little lashes. Give it a little character. Give it a name. So there's my cat head. All right, so then the next phase is to do the cat's body. It's the next piece that we're going to be doing. And so we're going to do, again, another regular piece, hopefully the same color, but you can make yours whatever. Supposed to be having fun, right? So we're going to do the same thing, but now we're going to follow directions, and it looks like we're off of a diagonal again. So we're going to start with the diagonal, corner to corner, create your crease. So again, diagonal. And then from the diagonal, it looks like you're going to be doing a diagonal in, almost like a kite. So a better way to kind of picture that. So kind of like you're kind of starting to create a kite. So then you'll see how that kind of turns up this way. And from there, we're going to fold this in half. So you create like that piece, and then you're going to fold that at a diagonal over to the other corner. Not quite halfway through, but at a diagonal. So it's going to look something like that. From there, you're going to open that up. You're going to open it back up so you see this part. You see the crease. And then you're going to fold the edge to the dot to create gonna be a little bit of work, but you can get it in there. Has everybody figured out that piece there? How you folded the other piece in? And if you can tell from here. And then you're going to fold that back up. Again at an angle. So you folded it back up at an angle, then you turn that around, and that becomes your cat body. And then the cat sits on, which one's my tail? The big piece. So then again, you can use your double-sided tape to attach them, and you create your origami cat and cat body. How's everyone's doing?
I'm stuck on step 5.
The fold. You're folding in on itself.
Like I got it like that. I figured that you fold it again at the crease you made earlier.
Mm-hmm. Then you open it up a little bit.
So you unfold it.
You unfold it and you open up just that piece that is closest to you, like you're doing right now. Then you're going to fold that piece on that's closest to you over to line up on the edge of the other piece. You see what? So you're going to open. It's going to take a little bit of work because you have to open it up gently. I'll put and really line that section over to the edge of the bigger triangle, and you fold it on itself.
Yeah, I'm not making that happen.
It's like it's hard to show on here because of the color. But like so, let me see if I can go back down again. All right. Can you see how this kind of pops up like that?
Yeah, mine doesn't do that.
You have to kind of make that happen. So once this is back out like this, you made the fold. Then you're going to essentially open that up, and that's how you're going to twist it over. So this piece lines up here. See how kind of you make that little crease there?
Yeah, I made my original crease too good. That's my issue.
Well, you have to you have to keep working it out. And then you create that little pocket there, and then you fold it down.
That doesn't look right at all.
Can I see?
I'm still here.
Okay.
I've opened it up as much as I can.
Okay. Well, okay, you're here. Let me see again. You're here. Okay. Okay. So now turn it upside down. There. So now you can see how that little pocket's there. Okay, good.
Yeah,
so now,
I got the pocket part.
Okay.
It's the folding of the pocket part.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to make sure I'm on the same page as you. So then you're going to use your thumb on that inside part. So this piece here is going to line up with this piece here. So you're going to get that that one that was folded. You're going to line it up with this piece here. So you're going to use your thumb, push it open, and get it over to that piece and line that up. Okay. Now, from there, use your other fingers to kind of keep it together. So from there, you're going to turn it like, see, now your thumb's this way? You see that piece?
I'm lost.
Well, turn it around. So you look at what you have it there. Turn it around so you can see it. No. We had it before.
It's like this.
Okay.
I've always had it like this.
Turn it around so you can have it.
What?
Okay, there. Okay, right there. See right there? Okay, good. Now from there, exactly, right there, you're going to push that down. You're going to line that up, and now you're going to make that whole thing flat.
All right, I got it.
Okay, and then you're going to fold that little piece down at an angle on the opposite side. So then when you turn it over, you have your cat body.
Okay. And then this opens up. I can't open that up any.
No. You're folding it. You're folding it. You're not opening it up. After you folded that, after you got
I
this
can't
piece,
fold it the other direction.
after you fold this down, this piece should still be like that.
Yeah.
Then you're just doing it at an angle. You're folding it back down on itself at an angle.
Huh?
So it's folded like this. Let me see.
I did that down.
Okay, good. Now from there, you're lifting that piece up. This piece, the other part stays on the bottom, and you're just folding that piece at a diagonal.
Mine really doesn't work.
You can.
It doesn't fold up.
Just that little piece, you're going to just have to lay it down flat so you can create that so it will fold over for you.
Yeah, it's not really doing a great job of that.
Well, it's kind of a little bit of a process. That's going to be your tail.
I guess I did that right.
And then you turn it over on the other way, and that's your tail. And then you add that little, add your head, get yourself a little cat.
Looks a little bit long.
Yeah, -2. -2. Mine's a little bit big. But that's what's so nice about this. There's no perfection or has to be like a certain way. We'll have our little menagerie of animals. Anyone else want to see what they've gotten or show what they've gotten? Hannah?
Well, since I didn't have any like origami paper and I just had notebook paper, I found one online that was notebook paper and I made a heart.
Oh, okay. That works out really well. I like the heart. Did you get a chance to see the other ones online for the PowerPoint? Oh.
I didn't realize there was a PowerPoint.
Oh, I posted it. It's okay. I'm just trying to help, so it'll be a little easier to follow. Are we ready to go on to the angelfish?
Yeah, sure.
I didn't know that was hard.
I didn't hear that. So for those who have the instructions and are able to follow along, then I say go ahead and follow with us. And then for those that weren't able to get it beforehand, and that's perfectly okay. There's no right or wrong answer here. We're just having fun seeing the possibilities of paper arts with the origami. It's supposed to really help us with stress. It's supposed to help us with just kind of keeping our hands focused and moving on something, but creating something that is, quite pretty. And, as we get better at the folds and as we get better at the instructions, we can then expand it into other stuff. I mean, there's some amazing pieces of origami work that's out there that if you really get into the paper arts, you can create a whole bunch of stuff. Especially later on, we're going to be getting into like fairy garden and that type of stuff. And we might even be able to make our own little pieces that go along in the garden. So there's a variety of different things that you can do once we get the hang of the origami. So again, if you have a different one that you're working off of, that's perfectly fine. Continue to work. Have fun with it. If for those that are following along, the next one we're going to try is the angelfish. And looks like we're doing what is called a water bomb base.
You're just doing diagonal folds twice.
Essentially, yes. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do diagonal across. We're going to do it again. And we're going to do it in half. And in half. And then from since we've done a diagonal, half and half, you're going to see all the different creases there. And then we're going to fold that in on itself.
Okay.
There we go. So the one half there, and then you see that little piece there, then you're going to do the other half that way. So then now you have the triangle.
Okay.
Here, from here, we got the triangle folded, and now we're going to
It looks like you just take the front flap and fold it over on the other side.
and you create
Crease.
a crease. So it's in here,
And then you unfold it.
and then the
And
other
then-
side.
And then you do it at an angle for that. The printing did not work out too well here. But it looks like I'm folding to that crease.
So then you're
And then after I've folded to that crease, then I take this side and I bring it over.
yeah, exactly.
It's not as quite clean as I would have liked it.
So when I saw it when he was going over it, yes, you're gonna first do the first fold is just going to the center and folding it in the center, and then you're gonna do that center crease that you're gonna see on one side. You're gonna fold the other side to that center crease to create the other one, and then you're gonna go back and do the where you're lining up the or one's over the other, lining up so it's in the middle. If that makes sense to you. And then you turn it over and voila, you have yourself a angel fish shape. Same scenario, we can make a little fish face and do little googly eyes or make our little eyes any way we want. Give your fish a little character. Maybe even a little smile. These are happy angel fish. And of course, fish usually go in schools because they usually are not alone, right? So we want to make a couple more and you can have yourself a little angel fish fish. What was kind of cool about these, if you did decide to make it a little bit different, you can always make a little windmill out of it or a little something a way to kind of balance it and create some type of little scene, a little fish scene. You can hang it, have some fun. So how did yours turn out, Jojo? Can I see?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the color, the paper. That makes it even more pretty. I'm gonna have to try some new paper. Get it a little bit more gleamy. Maybe I'll use this one.
Bye.
And what's nice is like some of these projects, as you get going, it's torn. As you get going, you'll discover that that you can start to make it out of anything, out of a post-it note. Some people are able to do it out of gum wrappers. Some are able to do it out of the money. It's people like the origami their money and give it away as a gift. So once you get the hang of some of these different techniques, you're going to be able to really create some really fun stuff. So the important thing is just to be able to have fun with it and kind of allow yourself to enjoy the process of folding and see what you can come up with and what you can create. The next thing we have here, we either have the turtle or we have the Betsy Ross star. Which way do we want to go?
I'm making a frog.
Are you going to do the hopping frog?
I'm ready.
Oh, okay. So I guess we have I thought that was going to be the last one because it seems to be the hardest, but we can give it a go. So the one that seems to be the hardest is the hopping frog that was on our agenda. And so if anyone else is still working on theirs, that's fine. If you want to share what you have right now, that's nice too. If you want to give us a look-see. Anyone want to show us what you've been doing? Okay. Well, this one is the hopping frog. It was the last one on the pieces, and it's a little bit more complicated because they have all of these lined up according to alphabet. And so they first lined up the first corner as if A, B, C, D. So if you want to even like write it in a pencil, you can even write in A, B, C, D, so that you can make sure that you're following along accordingly. And I might do that just out of my own need to
I
follow.
will warn you that might get a little confusing.
Oh, I don't doubt it will, but I'm going to try to see if I can follow their directions. Because again, I haven't done this before, so this is going to be interesting. All right, so they say here to do the diagonal, so A to D is their request. So I've done the diagonal, A to D, and then it says from B to C, we're folding that, corner to corner. And now from the one side, again, like we did before, you open it up, and then you're going to create that square fold on itself. So now it's going to say B. So it's telling me from this corner here, the square, that it's going to say that where that met in the middle there, that's going to be a G. And then where this is up top here is E, F, and the other one, of course, is...
Yeah, I haven't quite figured out the figure 4 part. I can't get that square.
You just fold it here. Just
I did the initial fold of the triangle, and then I took from this triangle. You folded it in half.
Mm-hmm. Then you
folded it in half again.
Yeah, and then you open it back up to the half, the first triangle.
To the first triangle?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And then look, you see how this one is here? So then from there, that corner, so you've already made that half, right? So then from that corner, you're going to open it up. You're going to open that side, and then you're going to fold that down to that middle.
Okay. And then from here,
and then
you're going to put C to be? You just folding it a corner?
Well, no, then see how you folded that down? And
Yeah.
then once that's down, then it's gonna just fold on itself. So then you have kind of this.
Well, yeah, I got the square.
Oh yeah, okay. So you see next. Oh, okay, so yes, you do the same thing, but then you're gonna be doing it on the other side. So you're gonna create a square on both sides. So you got that one, and now you're gonna do the same thing here. And now you're gonna go the other way. So yeah.
I don't see how that's gonna work.
Well, I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to follow directions. I'm not known. I want to figure this out myself. So it looks like that corner E that we talked about. And now we have these in the middle. All right, so now E's here. That's in the middle there. Okay. So now from this side, this corner here, it wants us to move it this way.
I can't get past 4. What is going on?
Once you've done one side, you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to do it to the other side.
What do you mean?
Okay, so hold on. Bring us back over to that. Okay.
There's like no. I can get it to the square.
Okay, so I'm back to this part here. All right. We did the one extra triangle. We're going to open that up, and then we're going to meet B on one side. See that?
I don't know. I just made it a square.
Yes. And then on the other side, you're going to do the exact same thing, but you're going to fold it in just like you did the other side. So it'll have that. So then you
It was
fold
nothing like the other side, though.
It's what's done the same way.
Well, I guess I got to the square step.
Okay, so then now it wants you to have this corner with this open kind of open side on the looks like the left side, and the one that's in the corner on the right side. Then it says it looks like to go at a diagonal this way. So now that corner is on the top, and this is the part that's going to be interesting because this part looks interesting. All right, so it looks like from here we are going to open up that side.
I'm so lost. I think I'm gonna just do something else. That is so makes 0 sense.
It looks like here and here. And here. All right, so at least sort of. Yeah, I agree. It's not easy. So you're gonna open the one side. See how look, Jojo.
I'm not on that step. You're on your own. I'm trying to figure out how I even did that part because I don't think I did that right to get to this step. So I'm starting over.
Okay. Well, after that, I'm not entirely sure either. So it looks like
Sir, bad instructions. How did I do that the first time? Fold up and then over.
Fold all the way over.
That doesn't make sense.
Okay. And then it looks like this folds in. And this folds in.
It's not right at all.
Mm.
I was not ready for the frog, and I refused to do it.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure. I didn't think I was going to be ready for the frog either. That's why I was going to go off kind of easy. But
The turtle doesn't look any better. And I already tried Star, and that thing sucked.
okay. So maybe you're saying
a cat.
origami may not be the paper art for you.
It's
Well,
not really. I'm
right.
not a fan. I like making paper airplanes, not this stuff. But I'm proud of my cat. My cat turned out good.
That did turn out good.
I'm gonna try the turtle. The frog was a little bit too much for me.
Oh, well, I hear you. I got to this piece, but now it wants me to cut it down, it looks like. So,
Wait, now it wants you to cut? Oh, that's already too much. No, if you're asking me to cut at any point in origami, I'm out. Let me just fold. That's what I want to do.
I'm not sure how far I'm supposed to cut though from this
Oh boy, the starting position for the turtle is tough. Okay, I think I got it. If I just simply make a crease here.
maybe it goes all the way down. That makes more sense.
I'm back in it. This turtle will be made. I really wanted to make the frog, so I was really disappointed.
Well, it is a little challenging, that's for sure. I thought it would be the most challenging. And
Yeah, I
sure,
think
it certainly has been. It certainly has been the most challenging. But I think, well, I got a version of it. I think I folded one a little bit too much, but I got the frog. I got the hopping frog.
Way to go.
How it actually hops, I'm not sure.
You
But I
press
got it
on
going.
it. You just like press down on it, and then it pops back up. There he goes. It's hopping. Look at it go.
Anyone else to give it a try, or anyone else tempted to give the frog a try, or are you working on something else? All right. Well, looks like I'm gonna try the the turtle next. That one also looks kind of challenging.
It took it took me everything just to get past step 1.
That one looks challenging. That one definitely has like a little more challenge look to it than I thought, when I first was selecting options. And that one looked kind of like, okay, I'll give it a try. And try to get some green here of my turtle. And we'll see what happens. All right, so this was the turtle that the instructions were. It looks like we're going to do the square again like we had before. So what we're going to do, it's like the fold on itself. So I'm going to go over it again. We're going to do corner to corner and a half.
So what I gathered from it is you do one crease in the middle, and then you fold all the 4 corners into the middle.
I got you do 2 creases. You do it in the 4.
Oh no, I didn't do that at all.
And then you fold it into the
result.
middle. So then you do the corners into the middle. So then you do that. And then you go all the way around.
Fold than the one I got.
And then you go all the way around.
I flip it over to this, and then I fold
Like the envelope like we started off with. And then you do the last one, and it's this square. So then you have that, and that's where the beginning is. This is where the part that looks a little confusing to me. So from here, it looks like we are going to do 2 of these. And that's what it looks like. We're going to make 2 of these. But one of them is going to be in half.
What do you mean 2 of those?
From the paper, it looks like there's 2, like you're working off of 2 papers.
I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, it looks like you're connecting 2 of these.
I still don't see it. It looks like just one. I mean, complicated folds, but it's still just one. At no point do I see a second page.
Well, how is it number 4 connected then?
Yeah, I don't know. You start with that base, then you flip it over on its other side where you can see the crease. Then you take the corners and fold them to the crease. And then I got to here. But that's as far as I could figure out so far. I guess it wants me to open this up from the bottom after folding it. Do the same to the top. Ah. Something like this, maybe. Of course, my folds don't make it easy to open it up after you do it. Okay. So you do that fold. What's going on up there? Yeah, I don't see how that goes from that to the next step. Yeah, that is just the stupidest directions. Ah! Okay, I'll figure this out. because you got, so you do the 4 folds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it says, so it directs you to flip it over. And then you find that the initial crease down the middle. And then it wants you to take some of those corners and fold them to that crease. So you got like something like that, like the kite again.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is getting after that. Like I'm not sure if it wants me to unfold these bottom ones. I think it does. So I unfolded the bottom.
Yeah. So this is 5. Or no,
So
this is 5.
no, I'm at 3. So I unfolded the bottom ones here. So I got to this on 3. And now I got to figure out what the top wants. So it's saying, okay, I think I see it. So like, take, no, that can't be. The top part is what's getting me. I got this part, this much right. This gets me that triangle there, at least to the bottom.
It's not hold that too easily.
Okay, I got something here that somewhat resembles it. The paper's fighting me though. Okay. So I'm on to this. I'm learning. I think. I don't know, it's not very clear. So then I should take the bottom piece here. And it wants me to fold it up to that. It's supposed to be a fold? Okay, so if I'm getting this right, basically hold it down here, then fold it out. Just fold it out. Okay, I think that's what it wants, just to fold it out. And then it wants me to take this, fold it up here.
Goodness. The problem I have is this piece makes sense. And this piece makes sense.
This one's challenging me for sure.
But the other side, not so much sense.
So I got to that. So I got to here. It wants me to.
Okay.
I can't seem to quite figure that out.
Well, I agree. It's definitely a challenge. Right now, this is my turtle. Looks a little bit more like a jet plane or something.
It's a fast turtle.
It's a fast turtle.
Goes
It's
fast.
speed. He's my speedy turtle.
Like I'm kind of getting it, but not quite. This is the embryo of mine. It isn't doing too good.
It is quite the and I finally figured out what you were saying. Like it was on the one. I'm like, okay, so yes, it's not two, it's one. But from the
Yeah.
image, it was kind of hard for me to tell. So yes, it opened on itself, but then it was you had to work basically for anyone who's trying to follow along with this. You had to work back and forth, back and forth. And so once you flipped one, you had to go on the other side and do the other, and that's what was confusing because it was hard to follow. So you had to kind of work on and then turn it over and work on that side, then turn it over and work on that side. And I think that's where it got a little bit harder to do for the turtle. How is everyone else doing? Does anyone else have a what they have been working on or wanted to show their?
All I made was the heart, and then I tried other things and gave up.
What did you try?
There aren't many origami lessons for those who don't have origami paper that I could find. So I was just
The biggest part is the square. It's just that to start off with the square piece, and I think that may help you a lot to make it a little easier for you to do.
I didn't have any scissors. Yeah, I made a heart, so I had that productivity.
Mm-hmm. Maybe make a couple.
That's about it for me.
All right. Well, this one, do you have a regular 8.5 by 11 paper? Because this one calls for that. The Betsy Ross Star calls for an 8.5 by 11 paper. So if you have just a regular 8.5, we can try this one. So I have a regular paper. It says just to trim off an inch. So it looks like 8.5 by 10 is the dimension. All right, so the Betsy Ross Star, 8.5 by 10. Start off with 8.5 by 11 printer paper, and it gets to 8.5 by 10. So it should be a regular notebook paper. Could work for this. You can give it a try. And it says to fold this in half. And then fold that in half. So then you have, and then again in half. So you're seeing the pieces like that. And then it says to do this corner to this center. So we can try that. And it creates that little diagonal crease. And then it says from that corner, you're going to go back out from that corner. On itself. Then you're going to open it up and fold it. Back over. All right. I'm having a difficulty on 6 of the Betsy Ross's star. I got to this piece on 5, and now the diagonal is showing me to go one direction, but it's not telling me.
Yeah, I tried. It didn't quite turn out like I thought. I said open, and I just got a paper with a bunch of folds and with a cut somewhere. So I really didn't know what else.
I got that diagonal. Fold it over this way. So then this goes to this diagonal.
But made an interesting pattern.
You can see that again.
I just couldn't quite get that like final step to work for me. So I moved on to making a duck.
But it wants you to cut it.
Yes, it does. The cut part is where I wasn't sure where it wanted me to cut.
Exactly. This one is a little bit harder to follow the direction. I got myself from cut in half. I got myself over to the dot over here. So, yay, got that corner, got the diagonal. I got that corner back over to that diagonal. So I've created this. And then now it wants me to either fold it 1, 2, 3. That kind of looks like the fold that you get to. But then it wants you to cut. No, I don't know. I can't do Betsy Ross's star. There's something I'm missing in their instructions. Because I don't know, once I get to that point where it wants you to cut, I can't really see where I'm supposed to cut.
Exactly.
So it is a little bit hard to like figure out if that's the right angle, or it doesn't look like it's the right angle. That's why I'm like, I'm not entirely sure how I'm supposed to look at that. No, that one is a little bit tougher. I'm going to have to go back and figure that one out. That one looks just a little bit harder to follow. Just because of the way they have the instructions, it's a little bit less clear on what happens between 6 and 7 to get, so then I can't line it up properly to get to where they want you to cut. The cut looks like it's completely across, and yet it doesn't tell me what I do next. So once I cut it, what I do, how do I make it into a star? So
yeah,
I think
it's like it's missing a
there's
step.
something missing in the instruction that it would make it clearer for us novices trying to work on these little pages. But I think it's been a fun experiment trying to work on some of these different folds and papers and all the different things it takes to create these origami creations. I had fun. I think that some of them were definitely unique. It's kind of like my first experience of making tortillas when they came out in all different shapes and sizes and all different types of things coming out there. So I think as we and generally start to work on these and learn the instructions, we'll be able to create more stuff. Obviously, right now I'm going to probably stick to the easier patterns and keep my little fish and my little frog, my leaping frog. I thought actually turned out that one okay. And then of course our little cat. The cat turned out really cute. I'm proud of my cat. And I'm just really happy that we were able to give this a try. And even though it wasn't always easy to follow, you didn't have all the instructions and stuff, still were able to create some pretty things like the heart. And I think Hannah had some type of an eagle or a bird. So I think it's really nice to be able to experiment and to see the possibilities of how you can transform a piece of paper into an animal or a flower or a heart, and what can we do then with other stuff? What can we do then with our own selves? And then as long as we don't limit ourselves to what's possible, we can start to really tap into our spiritual path, but also into what that means to us. Like what are we really want out of our lives? What are we looking for? And the more we do this, the more we create, the more we allow time for us to explore what's going on inside of us and going on with our lives, we can be able to really really transform not only our lives to be more joyful and caring and loving and accepting of each other, respectful. Just like it said, like we're transforming, we're becoming less judgmental about ourselves and less judgmental about others. And about, like, even tonight, we weren't able to quite create these masterpieces, but that's part of the process, right? So part of being able to really explore and to do things. And sometimes they're not always going to turn out to be, these fantastic things. And sometimes they're going to be some version of it. And sometimes it may be a complete crash and burn. And that's part of the process too. So it's more a matter of just allowing yourself to experience that and to be able to find a way to, work through those things. And that's what she's doing in the book, really helping us to be able to work on those morning pages, really being able to reflect on the affirmations, really turning things around so that we don't allow other stuff to kind of stop us or ourselves from stopping ourselves from progressing along and unblocking that creative self that we have. And again, it's not about having to be a specific artist, whether that's a musician or a fibrous artist or a fine arts artist or a filmmaker or any of those things. Creativity in our lives really allows us to be able to tap into a lot more than just that, into our relationship, our spiritual path, and the things that we are to enjoy our lives more. And that's what we're trying to accomplish here, that the creativity is part of that, but it's not the only part of that. And that's where we have to really work on trying to allow ourselves that time and the ability to be able to continue through the process and just be patient with ourselves as we do. And so the next week, we are going to be going into the next chapter is going to be discovering a sense of abundance and how to allow ourselves to appreciate the abundance that we have in our lives. And so what we're going to be working on for the actual project is decorating tote bags. And the tote bags are canvas tote bags. And we're going to do a variety of whatever you want to do with the tote bag, just like we're doing the collages on our journals. The tote bags are you can do either a collage of sorts. You can use fabric paint. You can use fibers, like you can sew onto them, embroider if you prefer that as well. If you prefer working with fibers, so it's all a matter of what you prefer to do, but a way to be able to decorate patches. But whatever works for you and expressing what you want to work on. But the tote bag we're going to be trying to do for the project. I have the option for you to be able to go to any of your favorite craft stores and find a canvas tote bag that you can work off. Just make sure you're getting the materials to be able to do what you want to on the bags. But I also have on my shop on the website, Florecita Artshop, I also have some tote canvas bags available to you that you can pick out. I got a variety of different types of things. Sometimes it's easier to have an image. And so I decided just to go ahead and put a variety of different images on there. So one side has an outline of an image that you can color in, and then you can work from. You can add things, you can put a phrase in, you can put other patches, you can put a sun, sky. But the image is there to kind of get you started. For those that may need a little something to get started. If not, feel free to do what you want to do. But those are available to you if you want to check out the website. And then the schedule is also available on the website under the workshops. It's under a drop down from workshops. It also has a drop down page, and in that it will have reference materials, the schedule. It has a variety of PowerPoint. Those types of things are going to be available there, but it's under the initial page of workshops. So you'll be able, but it's a drop down, so sometimes it's a little harder to see. So I just wanted to make sure that you see that it's good. There's more there. And then hopefully, and also just continue to look for the blog announcements, keep posting pictures and things that works that you're working on. Continue to work on your journals, finish what you had, go back in, maybe add some more elements, kind of revisit some of those concepts a little bit too. That should help you as well. And so then that way we can continue to advance in our progress and allow ourselves an opportunity to explore and create again next week. So I just wanted to, getting close on time, so I just wanted to check and see how everyone's doing, get a little feedback from the night, and be prepared for what the concepts or ideas for next week. So.
Oh, this was great. I was just bested by the frog origami and every other one since. I'm trying to duck now. I ran into another wall, but I think I figured it out.
Well, I think it's a process. Me just going over it myself, I think on some of them, I was doing the opposite, like I was going backwards versus what it wanted me to do. Like that one, I think you were supposed to go back and forth. And I think that would have helped me to understand that. So the more you go through them, the more you see even recognize the instructions, we maybe also be better at like figuring out what it wants us to do and then what we're supposed to create. But I think for the most part, I think we were following most of it pretty well. It's just a matter of sort of like just experimenting and learning. And sometimes it's the fold and the size of the paper. I noticed that some of my origami paper was just a tad bit bigger than the other. So I was making an assumption that they were all the same size, but based off of one origami set versus another origami set, it was just a tad different. So maybe that could also make a difference on how well we're doing or the size of which we were trying to visualize what we're supposed to produce. So I think that makes a difference as well. So how about anything else you wanted to add to the mix?
Well, it was fun activity to switch it up from like painting or gluing to just folding. Thought that was nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a nice variety, and I think that I'm trying to provide the variety for everybody so that you can tap into the thing that maybe stimulates you the most, get you going, thinking about. There's a variety of things you can do with paper. You can do quilling and paperwork, or a whole bunch of stuff you can do and create with paper. So I wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity to experiment with that as well. Hannah, looks like you're about to say something.
Yeah, I agree. It was a lot of fun. It's a cool way to get your mind off certain things. And it was cool, like, try and, like, it felt good whenever direction. Also, you get it's a thing. And able to make this little and
Oh, how fun!
Of course, I did the what's it called?
Angelfish.
And then here's my cat. It was pretty hard. But
Oh,
like,
I like your cat. Oh, I like the little. That's cute. That's super cute.
And then I tried to put the star. Is it the best? Yeah.
Did you get that one? Because that one was confusing to me. I was trying to figure that. I got like so far, and I got.
It's supposed to be a bigger size paper. Right on this. And then when I went to cut it, I ended up just cutting out a star. So I was close because it still ended up like a star, but obviously not what it's supposed to be.
Interesting. So that's what it was supposed to do.
Yeah. Well, it's not supposed to
maybe
look like
once the star is cut out, then you fold them together, and that creates the shape. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. Fold into the star. Maybe that's how it creates the star.
I don't know.
It was not clear on the directions, though.
Like,
it didn't show you what to do
somewhere,
after.
You're like, okay.
Right? It didn't say anything. It was like just this quarter, and you cut it out, and that's it. It didn't show you, like, it looks like it's missing some pieces here. Like, there's just some vital information that we really should have. Fully.
That I cut out is supposed to be. It's somehow
does it
bent a little.
fold in?
I'm trying to fold it in.
I think that's what it is. I think it got to fold it in on itself, and then it creates that star. I think that's but it didn't say, so that's what was so confusing. Like, okay, now what? Like, what are we supposed to do here? How's that supposed to work?
It's hard to do origami without really good directions. It's hard in general, but
Well, you seem to have done a good job of like figuring out some of these. So I appreciate that. Next time you're gonna have to show me what you did because I missed a piece that didn't make sense to me. So I gotta go back over that a little bit myself. Ashley, did you have anything you wanted to add or end the conversation with?
I just had a really good time. I really enjoyed these times that we get to hang out like this and just kind of have fun with art. I think it's great.
No, thank you. I'm glad you did. And it is fun. I think it's not always easy with our schedules to make time for this. And so I really appreciate you guys doing that with me, but also just being able to create something different and just to experiment with what sometimes we don't even realize that we might be have a particular, tendency for something or attracted to something, but that all of a sudden like that might be the key, like, ooh, paper, I didn't think about paper, this is really fun, and I can start working on these things. So it's just a different way of experimenting and allowing yourself to be creative and tap into that. Oh, I like this a lot. This is fun. We need to get pictures so everybody can show their pieces and to be able to.
Oh, look out, fish, cat.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing. I think we could do like a fish bowl.
Yeah, that's all I did. Their cat got them. Fish got cat.
He's a sly cat. Yes.
I think he's evil.
Oh, an evil one. You gotta get the
yeah,
brows.
he's red.
we all need to
Well, again,
I made him look like a Pokemon ball. That's what I did.
And I was hoping to maybe do that, but that one looked too complicated. And I thought there's no way we're gonna get that one in. So yeah, that would be fun. So again, have a great night.
I said everyone should hold it up so you can get a screenshot.
Oh, that'd be great. Yes. Good idea.
Yeah.
I can do it.
I may or may not have misplaced it.
Ready?
So I'm just going to send thumbs up.
Wait, what happened to your star or your heart?
May or may not have misplaced it.
Ashley.
So,
This is how I do it.
Did you take a screenshot?
Oh.
Yeah,
I'll find it eventually. I promise.
Like Windows.
Okay, I'm putting my stuff down. Hopefully it was gotten. All right.
Thank you guys. You guys have a great night,
Good
and
night.
we'll see each other next week. We'll be doing tote bags.
Yeah.
Night.
Yeah.